Bean!
Hello gamers, Navy Gunner 04 here, bringing you last week's request for the review of Planetside 2. Planetside 2 is a free-to-play first-person shooter MMO. The beta was recently released on PlayStation 4. The thing that makes this a different type of first-person shooter is that there are no rounds. There are several gigantic territories that have several smaller areas that your team needs to capture. When you begin the game, you choose one of three factions. Each faction has a different look and color, but there seems to be no other major differences. As a faction, you must take control of checkpoints in an area. You can only try and capture points that are touching areas that your faction has already captured. When you first start out, it is as confusing as it sounds. 1 second you are heading towards a checkpoint over 1,000 meters away. When you get there, someone from another faction could be capturing the point you just finished capturing. So you either have to wait and hope your team recaptures that point or go all the way back and try to capture it yourself. You start with just one class, the Light Assault class, but as you level up you will unlock Infiltrator, Combat Medic, Engineer, Heavy Assault, and Max. All of these classes are self-explanatory except Max. Max is a heavy armored class with 2 assault weapons. The difference with this class is that you cannot aim and have no other extra abilities. The Max class is probably the best class to capture or protect capture points, and it makes you feel like a badass while you're doing it. Once you have adjusted the controls and sensitivity to your liking, the gameplay feels tight and responsive. The gunfights can be intense due to the large amount of players on a map. There will be people who run and gun, people that are snipers, people that use vehicles, and people that use aircrafts. Everybody has their own unique way of battling, and most of the time, it feels like you are fighting as one full team. The problem with the maps comes when there is no enemy. You run from one point to the next, capturing points, with no opposition. I wish I could say that this happened only a small amount at a time, but this seemed to happen probably about 50% of the time that I play the game. What's worse is that if you end up in an area with no vehicle spawn, it could take you a very long time to reach the next checkpoint or a point that has a vehicle. The other huge issue I had is that all maps are set to friendly fire. While in normal games this wouldn't be too much of an issue because it teaches you to shoot the correct person, in a match like this when you have 64 people on the map, you tend to have crossfire and you can kill your own teammates. And then it warns you about it, and then it disables your guns for a small amount of time. Then you got the trolls. You know, you don't pay no tolls, we don't eat no rolls. These are the people that think it's very funny to shoot you to end your kill streak, or, you know, just for the fun of it. This also seems to happen a lot. I've also come across these trolls that sit at your spawn point and shoot every person that comes out of it, meaning you keep dying, and if you respawn where the action is, you'll die again, so then you end up having to respawn all the way across the map. There are 3 types of funds in this game: real-world money, in-game earned money, and spawn points. As with most games that are free to play, you can purchase many of the items with in-game money, but of course this currency is earned very slowly, and many of the items cost a lot. This seems like a way that the publisher is trying to push you to spend your hard-earned money. Real-world money comes in many different bundles, but is generally overpriced for the amount of items you can get with it. Unfortunately, cosmetic items can only be purchased with real money. This was hugely disappointing since this type of game is meant for customization. The final type of currency is called spawn point. These points are something you earn in-game to spawn vehicles or quickly change classes while you are on the map. The weaker vehicles cost less, while vehicles that can spawn teammates or tanks cost the most. You earn these points by completing in-game tasks such as kills, assists, and captures. So what did I think of this game? Well, I had a really fun time playing it when there were battles. But unfortunately half of my time was spent running around in an empty map or driving around in an empty map. And that was a huge disappointment, even in a free-to-play game. I would say I give this game a 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click on the little thumbs up
below.
And as always, if you'd like to see a game reviewed in the future, put it down in the comments and I'll add it to my list.